Welcome to the episode of Husbands Watching Housewives. I'm Scott.
And I am Jeff.
And we just watched an episode of The Real Housewives of Salt Lake City.
We sure did.
Yes.
Also, you can't see me. This is Momo. He's down there.
Yeah, we have our cat down there. He's starting to like us.
Yeah, it only took a month.
Hanging out with us on the couch, following us up for the podcasts, scratching the crap out of us. Oh, wait, that's just what cats do.
Scratching the furniture. Cats do.
Anyway, well, thank you for joining us. Thank you for finding us. If you're just finding us now, we are two husbands married to each other. We watch the Housewives shows. We might start watching the Below Deck because of the Salt Lake crossover, but that'll be it. That's it.
Yes.
That's how
2026.
So they get you.
But get you. It's a gateway drug.
Exactly. They thought it would be Summer House, but no. Below Deck, down under.
Yeah.
But yes, thanks for joining us. Find us on the social media, Husbands Watching Housewives, Husbands Watching on TikTok. And, hopefully over this coming week with BravoCon and everything, we'll be there. We're not going to be breaking any news or anything while we're there.
No.
But we're going to be posting some dorky content, I'm sure, and just some overall geeking out over the entire process. So
yes, it's a long process.
Yes.
And it's funny. It's like it's happening in a few days, but it hasn't really sunk in until we actually get to Vegas.
Yeah.
Safely on time.
What I'm interested, with the airport thing. What I'm interested in seeing is, like, you and I have been to Vegas before. It seems like a lot of the people we're seeing in these BravoCon groups on Facebook are like, either this is the one chance they've been away from their kids in like 20 years and they're like, yes, we're going to party.
Yes.
Or they just haven't been on a vacation in forever, whatever. It just seems like there'd be a lot of people whooping it up, if you please.
I think it's both A and B.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Whereas I've been to Vegas, more times than I can count. And I'm just
including this year.
Yeah. And I was like, I don't really need to go back.
3 nights is a lot.
3 nights. A lot. It is a lot.
It's a lot. But yeah.
Yeah.
We're going to pace ourselves. We're going to hydrate. We're going to just.
Yeah, hopefully meet some wonderful people out there and, make friends and, hopefully run into some of you maybe if you're there. I feel like we should make a secret code they could yell out at us so we know that they've actually watched the show. But
just husbands.
Yeah, well, let's be on the back of one of our shirts. But anyway, I digress.
QR code.
Why are you suddenly Parker Posey?
Lorazepam.
Husbands watching Housewives. So anyway, Salt Lake City.
This is a lot. This is a very intense episode. And, a lot of she said.
And it's just so ridiculous on every end of every spectrum. Yeah. Like, we should try and go in chronological order with this one because it starts out with
peace and
yeah, comparatively.
Basically, they're like recovering from the dinner where Britani exposed the TikTok that said Seth had a mistress, yada yada yada.
It was the going away breakfast,
right?
Where they thought it'd be a really good idea to have Meredith sit next to Britani.
Like, I was just like, girl, don't sit down. Someone needed to get up here and also at the end of this episode and switch seats with Britani.
Right.
Why are you putting people next to people who don't like each other? Like, it's just common sense. You just don't do that.
Did they already take care of the unicorn by this point, though? I think we skipped over that.
Oh, yeah. How can we forget? The poor Jared unicorn that got tossed overboard. Salvaged by a PA.
I was going to say, it had to have been salvaged. There's no way they would have been that mischievous about it without, so easy for them to have had backlash from this of just go ahead and litter in the ocean.
Oh, for sure. I think as soon as they saw it, they're like, no, we can't do that. Like someone.
Or they were like, we'll only do it if we can be guaranteed, I think that's what it was.
Right.
They probably arranged it with Daisy. So if we pretend to throw this overboard.
No, it went overboard, but someone would quickly scoop it up. That didn't sink.
Right.
Like that wasn't, Yeah.
So then there was dinner or breakfast.
So Britani should have just said, I'm sorry, I shouldn't have brought it up, and just ended it. But the whole thing, I was coming from a good, basically she was saying I was coming from a good place or something to that effect. Or I wasn't trying to hurt you. And then she's talking about the double standards. Yes, there are double standards in this group. This is not the time to bring them up.
Right.
Everyone rips each other's heads off. You're not being you are being singled out. But, it should just I'm sorry, let's move on. It's our last day. We have to get on a plane together. Let's
Right.
dead it.
Because
End it.
Meredith had already moved on by pivoting to Whitney and trying the age-old, how come you didn't defend me
That
better?
was bullshit. I'm glad Whitney was like, I told her, you either bring it up to Meredith, I bring it up to Meredith, or we don't talk about it.
That was really, I think, some quick thinking. And
Whitney chose violence.
Yes.
Whitney's like, not today, ma'am. I'm not going down with you.
But I think that's really quick of Whitney to just be like, oh, no, I was giving her the opportunity to be a good friend. Like, I wonder how many times she's had to use that or fall back on that. It's like, oh, no, I was going to say something, but.
Well, as soon as she saw the TikTok, she probably thought, I'm on camera. I'm watching this TikTok. I cannot co-sign this. I need to get away out. Like, what they didn't show on camera was me giving her these options and to try to be a good friend. And for Meredith to say, like, that's not being a good friend. You didn't tell me. Whitney's not your friend. You don't like her. She doesn't like you. Like, stop the insanity. It's just, no. And then it was a little middle school, like turning her back on Britani and like flipping her hair on her. And, like when Britani did it back to her, like, don't you touch me.
I forgot about the hair flipping.
It was so... And look, Whitney, and like Meredith's, unlike others, Meredith's weave was on point this entire trip. It was some good weave, but you didn't need to flick it in, Britney's face.
Oh, God.
Yeah. It was very middle school, the whole thing.
Yeah. I feel like we're missing some other details from this first part of the show.
Well, they were, well
before they zoom back home.
Well, Bronwyn saying to Mary, you're a woman of God. You can solve this, surely, woman of God. And Mary's like, nope, not today, Satan.
Keep me out of this.
Like conversation.
So then they pack up, right? Britani wonders where her unicorn is.
She gets it back
on the dock.
Wet. She confronts Meredith about it. I thought he needed a sweat. Sorry, that was Monica Jane.
Well, it was a good Meredith and Brooks too much Xanax voice.
Allegedly.
So then the fact that Bronwyn was like, no, I thought it'd be cute and da-da-da.
I'm glad that she it, like, because she started it. Like, she was like, here's, take the unicorn, throw it overboard. So she very much was,
with Whitney in the background, like, why would you think that was funny? Because it's funny. Like, it's funny. Like,
but it is her property.
Well, whatever. But like, she totally.
It'd be like
there's no way she brought that like seriously onto the boat without expecting it to be a focal point of some sort of storyline or some sort of conversation.
Of course.
So she got her wish.
True.
She's not just traveling with that because she like wants to snuggle with it at night,
I think she part of it
probably
was.
did. We'll never know because Bronwyn didn't sleep in the room with her.
I wonder if it still worked after like being tossed in the water.
That's why someone said put it in rice.
Jason said put it in rice.
It's pretty funny.
That was good.
So then they get to the airport.
And then I love that Bronwyn said, I'm not going back with them. Different flights. Bye-bye. Yeah.
I wonder if she regrets that, though. I wonder if she's like, oh, man.
I do, it's interesting what she said, how there is no footage of this being bystander footage, not because the cameras weren't allowed on the plane.
Right.
And these women don't record each other. So,
right.
And I have to wonder, though, like, was production on the plane? Like, could this, I guess you can't use your phone to, like, reach out to production, because I'm sure they are very, very pissed it all happened off camera. This is a huge thing to happen off camera.
Yeah.
Like, it's because it's she said, she said.
Right.
And we can't definitively say she's in the wrong, I
would see, and I was thinking, like, how come no one at least whipped out their cell phone? It's because they have this whole we don't film each other pact.
Right. But why didn't like, no, I know they're in first class, but like if Meredith was supposedly being so loud that the entire plane could hear her, which Mary should have pointed out, like, I could have been across the plane. I wasn't, but if I was, I probably would have heard you because you're so loud and causing such a scene. So I can't believe that no one was that classy. They didn't whip out their camera in this day and age.
Maybe there's a pact amongst people in first class that they don't whip out their phone.
I mean,
yeah.
I guess I would have been too shocked. I'm not a person who whips out my phone. I think I would have been too shocked it was happening.
So that's the thing is I need to know if someone was sitting next to Britani, and my guess is
Yes.
no. And I also need to know if someone was sitting next to Angie, because whoever that was, if there was someone there, sat there the whole time. Well, and then again, maybe they didn't know that they were sitting next to Housewives, but wouldn't they?
Not
Like without
necessarily.
cameras and
No
stuff.
camera.
Like if you didn't know
It's just a
specifically,
bunch of women on a girls trip.
yeah. So I was trying to think. Yeah, so that would be one reason why you would record them, because they're just normal people. And if you didn't know who they were,
Well, but even with normal people record stuff all the time, put it on TikTok.
I know.
So,
But I wouldn't necessarily, like if someone was
I
doing it-
would just watch it. I would
Yeah.
watch it happen, and I would be turning to you, because of course we'd be together. Like, what is happening?
I would at least be recording like video, like just to have the audio of it. Like if it was still really loud, I might just have my phone like in my lap,
Mhm.
recording it, so I could like listen back to it later and be like, was that what did they really say?
And then we're Katie and Janela sitting.
Yeah, it's a slippery slope.
It is.
Such a slippery
It
slope.
really is, but they're not our cast members. But here's the thing. So basically, the gist of it, because when Heather meets with Britani, and to recount, I'm not making fun of this, her words, her trauma, they go through the whole thing of, so this is the story. Britani was in front of Lisa and Meredith. Lisa and Meredith were talking loudly about Britani, but also yelling at Britani, show her the TikTok, as if they couldn't just search Seth Marks' mistress on TikTok.
Well,
Like, why? It's not that she had this TikTok. It's TikTok. It's a
Right.
public thing.
maybe Meredith was searching and she couldn't find it. And she's like, I want to know what you're talking
I need the
about.
keywords. I need the hashtag.
Yeah.
And so Lisa's yelling at Britani, show it to her, just to kind of diffuse the situation, but also I think also just to be Lisa,
Mhm.
because also she supposedly was saying, you deserve this, like, you know, you effed up.
Right.
And
Which I 100% believe Lisa's
Yeah.
doing.
so again, I don't know how long this trip was, for sure. Me too. But they were like shaking her seat. They were like wrecking havoc on this woman.
Mhm.
But yet no one intervened. Like the flight attendant, according to Britani, was asking, are you okay? Do you need anything? But no one said, ma'am, you need to stop. You're causing a disruption.
I don't think it was probably not horrible, or I also don't know what time of day it was and what time of night,
What time of day it was, like how long the flight
how
was.
packed the flight
How
was.
packed the flight was. Was there anyone next to Britani?
Right.
I mean, surely there was no one next to Britani, because they would have like moved.
Right.
You know, you're probably right. It probably was meant to be Bronwyn.
That's my guess.
But it's just
there is an
well,
element. There is an element that does not add up to it.
Yes.
In the fact that like this, I mean, it's there's something doesn't add up because we're
not seeing it.
We're not seeing it, and I'm trying not to be stuttery about this, but like it could be so easy for them to manufacture a story, but why would they?
I don't think so. I don't think what makes me not think this is because in certain aspects, yes, but I don't think here Mary, not to skip to the end, would participate in bullshit like this. So if Mary's saying it happened, like just straight up like it happened.
Right.
Like I think it happened.
But they're all
I know that but it's like everyone heard different things.
But that's what weirds me out, is that they're all falling back on this. Like, we saw it with our own eyes, we heard it with our own ears, and like it's kind of the same story. But at the same time, when you're telling the truth, the story will always be the same.
Right.
So
I feel like, yes, we didn't get Angie's point of view, but everybody else was like, this is what she was
Why didn't
because she was too busy talking about Greece.
we forgot about that part.
Greece is the word.
Greece is the word.
Electra, respect your Greek heritage, and Papao and all that.
Should we?
Don't you want to ride for Greece? Because I ride for Greece. Do you see the sweater? I ride for Greece all the time.
I thought that was very, very brave of her daughter, and also very teenagery of her daughter, just to be all like, I don't like Greece. Like, why would I
Talk
ride
too much
Greece?
about Greece.
And just be like, sorry, I identify more with Dad's side of the family because they all ride horses like I do. That was so weird.
The horse that costs as much as a Porsche. A horse is a Porsche, of course.
Of course. I completely forgot about that. I feel like we're forgetting other things that happened. Oh,
Well, no.
dear God.
No, we're gonna get to that. We're gonna get to that.
Okay.
We're gonna keep on this trust.
Sorry, I think I blocked it out of my mind because I didn't know what I was watching. So
Yes.
So back Meredith though.
Yeah. So I just obviously Whitney and Heather and Britani and Mary are like, this happened.
Right.
For Meredith and Lisa to be like, that's not how it happened, and just to downplay this, it reeks to me of gaslighting.
Yeah. I mean, I think what I think is more likely the case is that Lisa is downplaying her involvement for sure.
For sure.
And I think that Meredith doesn't want to admit that things were out of control, and she's going to go ahead and continue this whole, like, that's not how it happened. It wasn't that long. You were sleeping. And she's going to rely on her typical, lawyerese.
Oh, sure, for sure. It's like, she kept saying, I was just venting to a friend. Right. I was venting to a friend. And as if she ever heard me, that's too bad.
But I like how she walked in with, like, I watched 2 movies and slept for an hour. So, like,
yeah, she was prepared with that.
She had a timeline, like, so that couldn't possibly be what happened.
She's going to be the one next to, like, bring up some, like, bulletin boards and shit. Like,
right.
No, from this time to this time, for 15 minutes, I vented to a friend, and I'm sorry that Britani heard it, but I was just venting to a friend.
I thought she had her headphones on.
When I got up to use the bathroom, I might have leaned on her chair a little bit, but that's all. I was just venting to a friend. Meanwhile, every other chick is like, you were unhinged. And so I can't believe it's a mix of the two, but I don't know. I don't know, like, who heard everything. Like, if Whitney heard the entire thing, Mary might have been sleeping. How long did this go on?
I would feel better about the authenticity of Heather and everyone's claims if they had started filming something when they got off the plane. Mm-hmm. But the fact that it was all set up with this whole, like, flash forward, the clouds parting and then Britani walking in, like, that was the most dramatic thing that ever happened to me.
I'm not okay. I haven't eaten.
I haven't slept. And it's like, really? I mean,
she wasn't wearing any makeup.
I think a lot of that was done to make her look a lot more the victim than I think maybe she was.
Well, as Heather said to Lisa, she was the victim.
Yes, and that's why I'm having difficulty, like, saying, because, yeah, it's, I agree that, like, she was feeling, I could see myself feeling belittled and feeling, ganged up on in that situation.
By these two very strong, willed women.
And you have nowhere to go. You're on a plane. You just kind of have to take it. And they're, they're kind of shutting you out if, you don't want to acknowledge,
they can't work TikTok.
But is that the worst if that's the worst you've been through?
It would be like, if that happened to me and I'm like, I don't want to cause a scene. Right. I don't want to, like, fight back. I don't want to yell at somebody when they're yelling at me.
You're on a plane.
Right. It's a very long trip and you just want to get off the plane. That's why she should have, like, said, Angie, for the love of God, switch seats with me. You're the
Angie must have been on some powerful tranquilizer or something. She just put those giant sunglasses on. Like, good night.
Pillar of the community out.
3 Ambien.
She's like, peace out. That's why she's like, I have no recollection.
Right. God.
So, yeah. I don't know. It just really, it feels a little dark.
It does.
Yeah.
It does.
The other thing, too, as Meredith pointed out many a time, or just twice, right? If she had really been acting this way, so unhinged, where was the air marshal when she landed?
But I mean, you can get away with a lot. It just,
Yeah, that's true, too.
It's not like she was threatening violence. It's not like she was, She
wasn't attacking her. She wasn't.
Right.
They didn't say there was hair pulling. I don't know.
Right.
Maybe just her.
Can we talk about Heather and Lisa and their conversation?
That, like, started an hour later than it should have.
Yeah, so, do we all love a clock countdown?
I knew as soon as that clock popped up, like, oh, shit, who's she waiting for? And then, like, an hour plus later, comes Lisa Barlow with that tacky-ass Chanel necklace with her in the bag, too. I'm like,
I did not notice.
Who are you? That looks so fake.
Oh, we forgot about her driving around with John eating Wendy's.
You didn't think it was Wendy's at first.
Because the bag, you'd think if you were a spokesperson for Wendy's, you'd have that bag facing every camera you possibly could.
She was too hungry to think so.
She had that bag pressed against herself, and I thought the barbecue sauce was a McDonald's barbecue sauce.
I wouldn't eat in that car. It's a very nice car. For her to be like open barbecue sauce,
that's how rich she is. She can eat inside a car. For $65,000.
I'm sure John Barlow is so effing sick of Wendy's and, like, it's sticking up his car.
I won't lie. I kind of was like, I could go for some Wendy's.
Oh, for sure.
I was like, those chicken nuggets look pretty damn good.
I need some fries.
I actually thought of getting up and making some of the chicken we have in the freezer, but I was like,
that's too much. It's
too close to bed. Yeah, exactly.
Bed.
And we had a really good dinner. I could have used
good.
more.
I could use more.
Yeah.
Like more of a side. But like, what else would the side be? We made so healthy. Well, actually, kind of.
We should get Meal Lime to sponsor us.
Hello. We've been doing this since 2019. We had these zucchini fritters.
Yeah.
That we'd never done before. It was basically like zucchini, like
grated zucchini mixed with
mozzarella cheese
and then
spices. You put some flour and all in an egg.
Oh, in an egg, yeah. Fry it on each side.
Put it into like little patties, and like we made 6 of them, and it was like, what is this?
It was really good.
And a delightful salad too with it.
But it was not enough. Like I could have used probably 2 more fritters.
Oh, for sure. I wanted more. It was like a healthy mozzarella stick.
Yeah, and that's where it kind of felt like an appetizer at that point. So
good. Yeah.
Should have gotten some chicken.
Yeah.
Or maybe some bread. Bread goes with salad.
Right. I should have gotten some that bread when we went to Costco.
Ah, damn it. But you saw bread at Costco that you liked?
I did. I pointed it out. Like, look at this like Italian bread.
I kind of remember that. Yeah.
But we were just kind of like, we don't need these things.
We already been at the store and we'd just eaten lunch. So
right. We weren't. Plus we weren't like hungry. Anyways,
we're not hungry hippos.
Yeah. So that whole
Lisa Heather thing. Again, Heather was why I bring it up is Heather was bringing that whole tact again, like she did on the boat. I'm trying to have a conversation with you as a friend and like tell you what I heard and what I know is going on. And it was almost like, girl, you're 100% coming at Lisa and you know it, but you're couching it in this whole, well, I'm trying to be a friend and let you know what's going on.
Well, the second, like when Heather met with Britani and the second, like Britani said, I feel so let down by Lisa. I was like, no.
Oh, yeah.
Stick to the clear path. Meredith wronged you. If Lisa, co-signed, that's not great, but Meredith was leading the charge, and Lisa was just like, I don't want her to turn on me. She's already accused me of not having her back. No, I accused her of not having
right.
But I'm gonna like just go along with this, and with that, if that includes bullying Britani, so be it. But you just got to stay clear of like Meredith was unhinged. Meredith was shaking my chair.
Right.
Like,
But it's also that thing with Heather and Britani where, I have your back 100%. That felt kind of rehearsed to me. And it felt really over the top, like definitely more than I think than this situation calls for.
Yes.
This whole, that's unacceptable.
And I'm not going to stick up.
And I think you're right. I'm sorry. If it was truly unacceptable, you would have stopped them on the plane.
Right.
When it was happening. And Heather says she did that.
And then they came after her.
Once she woke up. Yeah. So,
but the thing is, like, you just you can't. There's certain things you can for sure blame Lisa for, and she's 100% wrong, i.e., gout dick. But in this instance, you gotta stick with Meredith. So bringing Lisa into it makes it really muddy, and it makes it seem like you cannot stop it talking about Lisa, and you have like some sort of like takedown season in mind for her. And it's like, don't bring Lisa into this. Like, it's just that's not.
Just stay on Meredith.
Yes. Keep it clean with Meredith.
I can understand that.
Yeah. So I understand why Lisa was like, don't do that. Was she possibly lying about what exactly happened?
Possibly.
Probably 100%. But like, it's just she took the wrong track.
Yeah, I think she could have handled that definitely better.
Yeah.
So then does that leave us now with Bronwyn and Whitney's conversation?
Yes, we can pivot to that.
Do we have to pivot to that?
What did you think?
What did I take away from that?
Well, let's outline it.
Please.
So supposedly, according to Twitter, Todd was caught looking at women in lingerie on his flight.
Right.
And Bronwyn confronted him about it. And she believes it totally happened. He denied and said it's just your friend stirring up gossip, whatever, planning stories.
Mm-hmm.
And she said, no, I think you should sleep at a hotel and go on your business trip because, we're not.
Yeah, we need
right
some
now.
space.
But she believed it happened. Very quick to believe it happened. So I believe that she believes it happened.
Yeah.
So she meets with Whitney to tell her this, and it goes into a direction I didn't see it go.
No one saw it going. First off, I was a little confused. It was I'm not used to seeing a housewife just walk in and be like, oh, this horrible thing is happening. And it seems definitely reeks of I'm trying to get ahead of it.
Yeah.
Because also this is another one of those things. We kind of keep our ears out and see different stuff in social media.
Not everything.
Not everything, but I feel like we would have heard about this and we didn't. You know what I mean?
Well, we don't go looking. We don't also follow All About the Truth.
And we don't follow a lot of the more gossipy content.
So
That's
I think
true.
This, it was
okay.
Yeah.
But either way, it just seemed really startling for her just to come in and say, yeah, so the media saying my husband's cheating on me, and I think maybe he's kind of doing something adjacent to that. And then suddenly it turns into this, well, is it okay if he does that then? Like, isn't that how it went?
Whitney's eyes are like, what?
Because I think she was also
startled. Leaning in, too.
Yeah, and at one point she's like cutting her salad or whatever she's eating, and she's just like not breaking eye contact with Bronwyn at all.
The oysters.
Oh, yeah, oysters. She's scraping at the oysters like, tell me more. And then it was just, I also just didn't understand because they were both basically, in my mind, saying we allow each other to screw around on one another, but we're not open, so we're not really doing that. Basically sounded to me that they're saying we do this, but we don't do that.
That's what was confusing to me.
Okay.
We're not open, but we communicate. And I tell him I'm going to be smart. I'm going to get it home safe. So get home safe from what?
Right.
What are you out there in the streets doing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I took away from it that Bronwyn and Todd are not open, but I feel like she was saying, she
would be open to an agreement.
An arrangement.
Agreement.
And I think that's where they're I think it's where Whitney's also splitting hairs, I think, or maybe it's relevant when you're in this sort of relationship. But it sounds like open just means you go off and you can do whatever the hell you want and hook up with whoever you want, in their minds anyway. And this seems to be that they need to pre-negotiate it.
Open can be a lot of things.
Right.
I think Whitney said, I have a lot of friends who live different lifestyles, and they have
my swinger friends that everyone talked about the first 5 seasons of the show.
Right. And I deny that we were swingers, but, or soft swinging or whatever you want to use the term. So she has friends who have agreements. She and Justin have talked about things. They've both been really at bad places in their marriage and thought about like what else is out there. I don't understand if they actually acted on that. That wasn't clear. But then she kept stressing, like, we've been together for 15 years, married 15, together 17. There's an age difference.
Right.
So basically she made it seem like inevitably we're going to want other things. But they both agreed, both Bronwyn and she, they do not want to be married to other people. They love their husbands. They believe in this marriage. They don't want to leave it, but they might have eyes for other people.
Right.
And even Bronwyn was saying, like, if Todd, I want to evolve with Todd. So does that mean, she said, like, I would want it to be like, oh, you saw my husband talking to somebody? Yeah, I arranged that. I picked that girlfriend.
Yeah. I
think she'd want that power of, okay, you're going to sleep with somebody, I get to choose.
Right.
Or I understand, like, we have I don't know.
Right. Really she wants to be involved, have participation in the thing, and make it not like it's a cuck to sort of like behind your back situation.
Or she's being done wrong.
Right.
She's being cheated on.
And that it's something that needs to be whispered behind, if you said to me, is that happening? I'd say, yeah, who cares?
Right.
It's what works for us.
Yeah. Again, like I know all about that. We talk about this.
I think when she found herself there, she'd be like, I don't think that this is for me, but that's my own judgment.
But I think that's also part of like seeing what may work for you and then realizing it doesn't, and then course correcting. It was very interesting because it was a very honest conversation. And it felt that you don't, like, it wasn't like bullshit, like, oh, I'm starting a new business, or I'm, having feelings of like inadequacy. It's like,
right.
Let's talk about
I'm not Greek enough.
The fact that they're like, we are both married to older men. We understand each other. We're the same age at everyone in this group. Let's get into it, girl.
Yeah.
And they did. It was like,
was not expecting it on camera. I was not expecting Whitney to just be. If she had a beer, she would have handed it and said, "Here, hold my beer."
Exactly.
Like, I need to give this my full attention. She seemed almost gleeful to be talking about it, but also
because it was real.
And I think also somewhat in disbelief that it was going to come up on camera. And so I'm a little worried. I was like, should Whitney be saying all this on camera?
Well, she even said, like, I'm not going to start rumors about myself. Like, we're not open.
Right.
We're not open. Like, I think we just talk about it. Oh, and maybe they've done stuff.
100%. Maybe
they've done stuff together with a person.
I'm sure they've done that. I'm sure they've done everything. I'm sure that they've cheated on each other.
Why should they get home safe?
Right. I think what it is they know. I've just never seen. This is just so weird. I just don't think I've ever seen housewives kind of discuss their marriages so openly like that.
That's what I was saying.
It was so odd.
It's also because it's like, normally this is someone who's my coworker that I wouldn't have a conversation like this. It's like off camera, on camera.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily trust this person. But Ron was like, you're the only person who's going to get this.
So once I can kind of figure out why Whitney and Bronwyn would allow themselves to speak that openly about something that could really be thrown back at them, that confuses me. And so that makes me think that maybe some of this is not a setup, but it's something they maybe just
I don't think
before.
Like, based on Whitney's reaction, she did not see this coming at all. I don't think it was a setup. I think it was just, it just happened. And I think, I think what's the setup, as you said, Bronwyn was going to get ahead of this.
Mm-hmm.
Before someone brought up, I heard that someone saw your husband looking at pictures of women on his flight.
Right.
She was going to out herself or out the situation on camera and control the narrative. I don't think she planned
on Whitney going,
yes, and then like feeding off of it was just, it was. I mean, very interesting.
I got my gut tells me that reading between Whitney's lines is that they had some rough patches in their marriage. Yeah. They cheated on each other. They've definitely slept with other people while they were married. And I don't know any one thing from another, but it just seems like she was so quick to explain, like they've run through everything, you know what I mean? And so it just seems very interesting to me. And I'm good for them if they're still together and they found a way to make things work. And, they seem somewhat, they seem very happy with it. We met them at an event.
Yes. We'll see them at BravoCon.
Yes.
So it doesn't seem that they want to get out of the marriage. That's why I think that, like, you can't really compare them to Bronwyn and Todd, because they seem like they don't necessarily always like one another.
Right.
More so him, not her. Whereas I feel like there's a lot of love and between Whitney and Justin.
Yeah. I think what I'm finding more interesting in my own head is that, because, we don't hang out with people who are just openly, oh yeah, my wife and I sleep with other people.
Right.
Like, we don't have that. And we know some pretty adventurous people. We know gay couples who are open.
Right.
And I guess we statistically probably know some straight couples that are open, but we don't talk about it as much with them. It's not much of a conversation.
Yeah.
But what I find interesting about it is that they're just so quickly to just kind of just be saying, oh yeah, we've cheated on each other without saying it.
They didn't say it. Yeah.
Right.
That's why I think at the reunion, Annie needs to, like, let's get some clarity on this. What was that conversation?
Yeah. Because I just couldn't imagine one of our friends just walking in to meet us for oysters, and then just,
girl, let me take off my purple beret and have a conversation.
I was like, what? So
it was really, because everything else is about the situation on the plane, and then just go like completely left and like, wait, what?
Salt Lake, the show that keeps on giving.
It really does.
It really, really does.
It really does.
So
leaning in.
Now I know why it was one of the questions on Pop Culture Jeopardy test.
It's a phenomenon.
It's a phenomenon. So, did we miss anyone so far?
The end with Meredith and
I
Eric.
was kind of already getting into that a little bit, but
it was just so. I'm sorry. When Mary is the voice of reason,
something.
Like you have failed. Like, Meredith was just like, nope, didn't happen.
There, I kept getting it in my mind that Mary was trying to say, I'm saying this to you because I think you might have some sort of problem.
I'm concerned because you're not remembering what actually happened.
Right. And
really, it's like, no, she remembers what happened. She's not going to admit it because she wasn't on camera.
But it could also be, and we've heard rumors in the past of Meredith microdosing different things and having Xanax and whatever. I mean, it could very well have been she blacked out because of some sort of substance.
Had a Xanny rage?
Well, yeah, could have been.
Oh, that's just to mellow you out.
You'd think. But some people, they just make normal.
Her body fought back against it.
Right. Maybe she had an Ambien and she didn't fall asleep through it.
She watched two movies.
I want to know which movies.
Which movies? Counselor?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Which movies were? Like, I need like right there.
I know.
Don't even think about it. Which movies?
That's good. Someone should ask. We should write that into the reunion. Andy, we want to know.
Meredith, what movies were you watching?
We want to know which 2 movies Meredith was watching.
Allegedly. Yeah, Mary was very concerned, and she was just like, you're not going to sell me on this. Like, I heard it. I saw it. It's not what I think happened. It's what I know happened.
There was one point where she went away from the, I've heard this. I saw it with my own eyes. They started talking about something else, and you could tell some time had passed in the argument, or maybe they just edited a little copy. Yeah, something happened. And then she came back to, no, I heard it with my own ears and saw it with my own eyes. She said it again, but in a much different way, as if to say they'd talked long enough where Meredith was trying to get her onto her side, where she'd say, no, let me remind you.
I heard it. Well, Meredith tried to say, like, you were asleep and you had headphones on, but not, she might have not been able to write a whole court report. What's a whole?
Right. I'll think of it. You keep talking.
About like giving, a detailed description of everything that happened. A transcript.
Affidavit?
I was thinking transcript.
Okay. There's
one
more when you're... I'll look that up later. Anyway.
She couldn't write a transcript about what happened on this flight, but she did hear parts of it, and the part she heard was Meredith losing her mind.
Right.
Basically. And so you can't tell her she didn't hear that. Yeah. But Meredith is doing exactly that.
Yeah.
So, and just Mary was just like, I'm really concerned because she's just not taking accountability. So Mary thought, okay, Mary just thought that she forgot, or she was just like maybe blacked out. Mm-hmm. But now I'm thinking, oh, she remembers, but she's just not going to own this.
Yeah. Because
you can't catch her because there wasn't a camera on her. She wasn't mic'd. So it's her word against ours. And that's bullshit.
That is. What do you do, man?
I know. I mean, I don't feel like that adamantly. I'm not like mad at Meredith. I'm just like, it's just really bizarre.
It is bizarre. And that's
like try to make somebody believe they didn't see what they saw.
But that's what this entire show is everyone gaslighting everyone else.
Right. In this respect, there's nothing to prove otherwise.
And I couldn't help but wonder, was it us who were being gaslit? Okay.
Yes. I want someone on that plane to bust out some footage, and I want Kiki Monique was on the plane
sitting next to Angie,
eating her popcorn, recording secretly.
I thought it was interesting that they showed the TikTok creator's name and everything on the video, and they
about the Seth thing,
right? About the Seth thing, because that's now legitimizing more blogger, creator kind of content, and that's giving kind of don't give the serial killer's name, because then they'll do it again. It's like if you start legitimizing all these content creators, featuring them on the show, it's going to continue to inspire others to try and do the same.
Well, luckily, I mean, they haven't gotten as bad as, say, OC.
Yes.
In this regard. I think after Monica, they probably all just made a pack, just don't.
Yeah, that's true.
Not that they're not, I'm sure, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them talking to bloggers or content creators, but it hasn't made it into a story. I mean, it's part of a story because that's what set Meredith off, but, Brittany could have said oh, I just heard something or I saw something, kept it light. But yeah, the fact that they...
Right.
Yeah.
Can Katie move to Salt Lake City? Do you think that would go over well?
I think at this point, it's such a good group that I wouldn't want them to change it at all.
Oh,
everyone plays a part.
I agree.
Yeah. And anyone who was oh, I don't know, what does Whitney do? Whitney did some work.
Yeah.
And I was okay, I'm going to help you out of here, sister.
I also started thinking, was Whitney being all excited, ooh, another couple that swings? But then I thought, oh, no, then that means she'd have to swing with Todd. Probably doesn't want that.
Shorty does not want to swing that way.
No.
Nope. No gout dick.
She's like, come here. I've been waiting to wanted to get a load of that.
What is gout dick? Oh, no.
I take that back.
No, sir. That's
All right. Now that we've gotten to gout dick, what? We've really gone downhill in this podcast.
It did.
Have we talked about everyone? Angie didn't really have much to do in this at all.
Yeah, that's why they gave her...
that whole like 15-minute Greek scene.
That was also like setting up the Grease trip.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, the mid-season trailer.
Oh, there's a lot.
It was a lot. Some of it, like, it wasn't that much that we hadn't already seen.
Yeah, I feel like that was the same as well. That like it was kind of just reinforcing what we kind of already knew.
It's basically, aside from that slumber party, we haven't seen anything like that.
They get dressed up in some costumes again.
They go to Greece.
Mm-hmm.
Todd and Bronwyn have awkward conversations.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, John Barlow, biting back at Lisa. That was good. That was good.
Yeah.
I think that was the big standout moment.
I just can't believe it's already halfway through the season.
What episode is this?
This, I think, is episode 8, maybe 9.
I think, a good short season, I'd rather have that than like a really meandering season with some filler.
Oh, for sure.
That's the thing. Salt Lake does not give you filler.
I feel like we had one filler episode.
There was, yes.
But still, they're allowed one filler.
Right. They can't shoot each other's faces off every episode.
Apparently they can. So.
On a flight. So, yeah. No, it's going well.
Okay. Well, I think our next podcast will be some sort of something from BravoCon. If we're lucky and timing works out, we're going to look awful without proper lighting.
Who's that ghost in the room?
Well, I mean, not like I don't look like the most pale person on the planet now.
No, you don't.
Oh, well, I am. We'll talk about all this next time.
Till next time.